What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Real Deal Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Keeona, and I'll get to that in a second. But I am joined by Shawn. This is his first time on the podcast, so welcome.
What's up?
And Owen.
Hello again. Welcome, Shawn. It must be exciting to be on the camera for the first time.
Yeah.
It really is. I'm kind of nervous, but
don't be.
it's also exciting. So
Yeah, it's just a free-flow conversation, so it'll be fun.
Sweet.
Now, for the reason why I'm masked, I recently got sick over the weekend. I don't have COVID, so that's a good sign. But just as a precaution, I'm going to be masked up just for the safety of these two. So.
We appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. Especially
you.
when I just found out that 4 people in my residence hall got COVID.
Yeah, that definitely sucks.
So I'm not taking any chances, even though COVID never really scared me, like, up until this point, because I'm just like, I can't afford to get sick, not right now. But just taking precaution, but I'm feeling okay, I'm doing okay, and I will get better throughout the week. But for today's topic on the podcast, we are talking about none other than sitcoms. And I think all of us have seen like 1 or 2 sitcoms in our lifetime, probably more than that. So, any of your guys' favorite sitcoms you want to like touch on a little bit?
Well, I don't know. I kind of have like a top 3. It's like an unofficial top 3, I guess. They're very much interchangeable. Mm-hmm. But like my favorite sitcoms are definitely that 70s show, Frasier.
Okay.
And actually, I'm going to look at your list, see if I can find another one. No, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That's another very good one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say those are like my 3 favorites.
I'm gonna get to Frasier in a minute, but that's the thing. I grew up seeing so many sitcoms that my mom's watched, whether it was Roseanne or Cheers or The Golden Girls, The Nanny. Like, The Nanny is actually my top favorite right now. I'm actually rewatching that series as it is. Because you just can't beat Fran Dresser. Like, that New York accent, she's like, it's doggy dog or something like that. Like, and obviously I've nailed her accent to a T, at least in my opinion. But my top 3 are The Nanny. Let me see what else. A Different World, which is a spinoff of The Cosby Show. And, I don't know. And that 70s show. I just started rewatching the 70s show.
So did I.
And that 90s show, I'm not sure if I want to watch it because I feel like I have to watch the whole 70s show before I watch that 90s show, I feel like. Mm-hmm. But those are my top 3. But
Oh yeah, for me. So my top 3, they got to be MASH is one of them because I grew up on MASH, watching it on TV Land with my dad, and I loved it. So good. Definitely Seinfeld. That's either number 2 or number 1 for me. I love Seinfeld so much. I understand it's a little problematic, but it's hilarious. I love Frank Costanza so much. He's amazing. So funny. What were you gonna say?
I don't hate Seinfeld. It's just that I feel like seeing so many reruns and hearing the song over and over again as a child, it kind of got annoying. And the only episode that really made that really caught my attention was the dad doing, "You want a piece of me? You got it!"
That's Frank. Love Frank.
Oh, and speaking of the dad, another one is The King of Queens. I love that show.
I haven't heard of that one yet.
With Kevin James. And, yeah. And the dad who was on Seinfeld played Leah Remini's dad, who played his wife on the show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so yeah, I totally forgot about The King of Queens. But, but you can continue. I just lost my train of thought. But.
Oh, I was just going to say, my third one, I'm not sure what my third one would be. I know it's basic, but The Office, just because that was really... The Office. That was really just like my first show that I got into, and after a while, it's just a show that I would have on in the background, and it's the comedy in it always struck a nerve, I guess, with me because I just think it's hilarious.
Yeah, The Office.
But
oh wait, sorry.
No, it's just a safe bet of a show. You know, you can't really go wrong with it if you're into that kind of thing. So.
Yeah, but fun fact about The Office, I didn't like it at first just because I was always watching it in the background with my family members, and I was like, these people are making stupid decisions. But like now watching it like back, like over, like from the first season to the end of it, it works. Like, I love it.
Yeah, it's great.
And especially, like, if you grow up watching shows like that, a lot of the jokes kind of fly over your head.
Yeah.
But then, when you grow up, I totally get it.
Yeah.
It's like a whole new show years later, you know.
Exactly.
And you get the jokes from time to time. But But Owen, since you mentioned Frasier, that was another one of my mom's favorite show. I wanna start watching, like rewatching it. Like that's the thing. Whenever I watch like these sitcoms with my mom, whenever I'm back home, like we don't watch it like from the first episode to then. Like we just watch whatever episode comes on cable or TV.
Right.
But I do like Frasier and the theme song. Like I love it.
Of course.
Hard again. But funny enough, and I told you this, Colin, who is the host of the Real Deal main show, he was talking about sitcoms and he wanted to be on the show, but then he couldn't. And then we were talking about Frasier, and some news that he wasn't happy about, and I don't know what to feel about it. Frasier is actually coming back on Paramount Plus for a reboot.
I actually just heard that.
Yeah.
I feel like that is an interesting choice.
That it seems to be a common theme though, lately.
I know.
Yeah.
Bringing everything back.
This is what irks me about the entertainment industry sometimes. Some things should just be left alone and should not be remade.
Yeah.
And Kelsey Grammer, does he even want to do it? It's like he's old now. Like
I don't know. I mean, it's definitely not like they're forcing him to go back.
I mean, I know, but
And he really, really enjoyed playing that character. Like, it was kind of a big part of his career.
yeah.
So, I think, I don't know, if he wants to go back to it, you know, if they want to do reboots, like, you know, I felt the same way about that 90s show.
Yeah.
As long as they do it and they do it well,
Yeah.
and everybody does a good job, then all the power to them. And then
Money.
they also get, you know, their pockets lined up.
Yeah, yeah, that's me
That's
too.
like a
As long as
change.
they do it well, and you know, if the cast is up for it and everything, and if it's the right time, well, I don't know, there really won't be a right time to do reboots or anything like that. But I do agree with you on that. As long as they do it well, then I'm okay with it. But I just feel like, you know, me just wanting some sort of nostalgia, especially watching it the first time around before the reboot happened, I'm just like, why mess with it? Why touch it again?
Right, and it's definitely going to be, like, weird, because there's going to be a lot of changes. I'm sure that, like, you know, Frasier and Niles' dad, I don't even remember his name, and I feel horrible for that right
I've
now.
never seen Frasier.
But I
Ouch.
I've never seen it.
is he even alive, like the actor?
I think so. Wait.
Really? Man, he was, like, old then.
Let me check.
Yeah, you looked that up.
Niles?
Then, like, their dad, Frasier and Niles' dad. I just can't think of his name right now. Either way, so yeah, him. I don't know if he's still, you know, alive. I know the dog isn't, Eddie, which is really sad. His
Is it
first,
Niles?
Oh, I figured
is
the
it-
dog
is
would
it-
still
is
be
it
alive.
Niles Crane? Is that Frasier's dad?
No, Niles is Frasier's brother.
See, I get those two confused. So like,
Right.
because I think of the brother and then the father, but I'm just like Martin. Crane?
Martin, yeah, that's him.
John
John
Mahoney.
Mahoney.
Oh,
Is he alive?
no, he's dead.
Oh, that's sad.
Because isn't
He's
he?
like the funniest part of the whole show,
yeah.
in my opinion.
But then now looking at it, like Niles, he said he's not sure if he wants to return to the reboot, which I can see why, but
I mean, it'd be weird without Niles too, because he's so funny.
yeah, that's also true.
I mean, he's like the opposite. I mean, he's very similar, but he's still kind of the opposite of
But then
Frasier. Frasier at least makes some kind of sense.
But then Daphne, like, I kind of like Daphne a little bit, but she was kind of.
Well, if they're not going to have Niles, since they elope at the end
I
of the
know,
show,
I know.
it'll be hard to bring Daphne back too and
I
not have
know.
Niles.
I know. See, this is what frustrates me. You ask all
Mm.
these questions, like,
It's got to be all or nothing. NBC, if they're still doing it. Did they do it? NBC, CBS, NBC. That was the original. people.
NBC, yeah. 11 seasons. Oh,
Yeah, it definitely went on a lot longer than I thought it did. It actually took me a while to figure out that Frasier is even an offshoot of Cheers. I
What?
never
Are you
watched.
serious?
Yeah, I never watched
Sorry,
Cheers.
I just caught that. Wow, holy crap, that's
now
crazy.
here's the thing. My mom said that she never watched Cheers, but I distinctly remember when I was little seeing the title come up on the TV. So she had to watch it, and she keeps on saying, she gives me this look like, that old show.
Right.
She can say what she wants, but I distinctly remember seeing that title come up, and I actually want to watch Cheers because obviously one of the stars just died. Kirstie Alley, she was on that show, and I distinctly remember her from Dancing with the Stars. That's my favorite show, one of my favorite shows. But she did play the bar owner for a certain amount of time until like the series was over, and her character just seems so interesting and so funny. So that's kind of that's intriguing me to watch it. So I really want to get into Cheers, but how many seasons was that? Because now that I'm looking now that I'm knowing that Frasier had 11 seasons, I'm like, look, it took me 2 months to binge watch Supernatural.
Right.
That had 15 seasons. So if I can do that, I can probably get through Frasier with 11 seasons.
Right.
But let me just check. How many seasons did Cheers have?
Shawn, what other good sitcoms are you watching? Like, what have you been watching any lately?
Not any comedies. I just finished a show called The Bear, which some of you might be familiar with that because of the meme of the chef guy. Did you ever?
The chef guy?
The chef guy. I know.
No, I don't know.
11 seasons.
Ring a bell? No, but it was really good. It was crazy. It reminded me a lot of the Safdie brothers' Uncut Gems because everything was really tight and fast, and it was because it's a kitchen, they work under a lot of pressure. So the way it was shot was very like accommodating of that and what that environment would be like, especially a failing restaurant. So that was amazing. I highly recommend it to anyone. It's awesome, but not a sitcom.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but I haven't. Yeah, I wouldn't say. I guess I finished The Sopranos, and there's some pretty funny moments in that show. So sitcom, I don't know.
I don't know if I would necessarily categorize that as a sitcom.
I feel like it's more of like a drama, like.
I don't know. It's definitely not a comedy, but it had its
Yeah.
moments. But point is, I haven't really watched a new sitcom in a while.
Yeah, me neither, but 2 sitcoms that are my absolute favorite now that February is Black History Month. 2 of my favorite sitcoms that I like to watch on my pastime, even if I don't feel like I've watched all the seasons, are Martin and The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Right.
Nice.
Martin, I mean, I love them both equally, but I feel like I watch more of Martin than I do of Fresh Prince just because Fresh Prince, obviously, it's like well known. Everybody knows that show. But then everybody knows Martin. But then I feel like Martin kind of gets swept under the rug a little bit. Martin is obviously with Martin Lawrence, clearly. And every time I watch that show, I always end up doing like, what's up? What's up? What's up?
I never watched that one.
It's really good.
I did watch a bit of Fresh Prince. Obviously, I missed the 90s, like the hype where everybody was watching it. That was like the cool thing.
Was it called the Carlton or the Charleston?
Carlton.
Carlton, yeah, when he did the weird dance.
Yeah, but 90s sitcoms like Martin, Fresh Prince, Living Single, A Different World.
Malcolm in the Middle. Everybody hates Chris.
Yes.
Yeah, I watched a little.
Everybody
Malcolm
Loves
in the Middle.
Raymond? Nah, that wasn't in the
No, I think that was a sitcom.
Yeah, but
I think.
it wasn't in the 90s.
Was it?
Was it?
I don't know.
My mom loves that show, but like my brother, like everybody loves Raymond.
Right?
Ooh, what was another one? Ooh.
2.5 Men. It's another sitcom.
Yikes.
Is
I
it a
wasn't
sitcom?
into that.
Yeah, it was a sitcom. I'm just like,
I didn't think it was very funny.
No.
I mean, it had like its funny moments. All these shows have their funny moments.
How I Met Your Mother.
The Big Bang Theory. That's another one I don't think is very funny.
Yeah, I watched like 4 episodes of that thing. I'm not sure if I want to continue watching it, but then I'm just like, maybe I will. I just have to watch some more episodes to see if I actually like it.
I mean, I think it seems like something that would be down my alley because, I like video games and I like, comic books and superheroes and all that. But, like, all of them just aren't funny.
Yeah.
At least I don't think. I don't know. Or maybe, like, their characters are just written to be way smarter than I am. So I don't find it
To
funny
me, they
really.
seem like an adult version of like a Disney show, and
What does?
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
2.5 Men or How I Met Your Mother. I don't know.
I do like How I Met Your Father, though. That is a good show. I like it.
I
haven't seen that one.
thing. But no, just after having to watch a lot of different clips of 2.5 Men for class.
Which class makes you do that?
You'll never guess it. 204.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but it was last year. But yeah, it just seems very gaudy. The clothes and everything. It just always reminded me of shows I'd watch on Disney. But like something like Seinfeld, Cheers, I feel like there's definitely more of like a direction there.
Yeah.
Especially with Jerry Seinfeld's collaboration with Larry David. Those 2 guys, in my opinion, are comedic geniuses, and
Yes.
I definitely see a creative vision in Seinfeld as opposed to 2.5 Men, where every butt of the joke is women or something like that.
Yeah.
And Seinfeld can tend to do that to an extent, but I just felt like the comedy just leagues better. So.
Mm-hmm. And two other sitcoms that are like really old, just because my great grandparents watched. I would always like watch them with my great grandparents whenever I would like spend a few hours at their house or even spend the night there. The Dick Van Dyke Show, the Dick Van Dyke Show, and the Andy Griffith Show.
Oh, I love Andy Griffith.
Two classics. I definitely grew up watching those.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
The theme song has not left my head since I've heard it.
And I couldn't believe that Opie was is Ron Howard. Like as a
Really?
kid, I had no idea.
Yeah.
I had no clue.
Wow.
And this is like I found this out a while ago now, but I mean, I was like, I can't believe it, So.
And then obviously one that's also a classic, The Golden Girls.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I've never seen.
But
them.
all of them are dead.
That is very sad. We got a lot of good years out of the Golden Girls, though.
I know.
Golden
always-
years.
That's not. We got golden years out of it. That's also another one of those shows that I grew up watching. So like, I'm just kind of predisposed to loving it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my mom, like, every night, she'll, like, turn it on and she'll go to sleep to it.
Right.
Because it's just one of those shows that just makes you feel good at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think that's kind of what my mom uses the show for. She's been a fan of it. She's like one of the OG fans. From the 80s. Ooh.
But as far as new ones go, I haven't really seen any new ones besides How I Met Your Father. But two of them that I really enjoyed were The Good Place, that had Kristen Bell in it. I love The Good Place.
Oh.
And
yeah. He was in Cheers, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
And BoJack Horseman.
Yeah, that's another good one.
Yep.
Schitt's Creek is definitely one of my favorite shows of all time. I love
Schitt's
Schitt's Creek so much. There's another show that I was gonna.
My brother,
mention.
like, he saw me watch that show. He kept on, like, criticizing, like, one episode I was watching. He was like, people don't talk like that. That's why I don't like TV shows like this. I'm like, that's the whole point.
Yes, that is what makes it funny. They're all ridiculous.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
that's the
love
whole
them.
point.
I love it so much. Oh, actually, okay. So reboots. We were just talking about that '90s show earlier.
Frasier.
Right, Frasier. So my dad, who is a pretty hard guy to please, he watched through the entire series, that '90s show. He said that he loved it.
Really?
He said that it was really good.
Wow.
That's crazy.
And, I mean, it doesn't focus on the people, from that '70s show. It is their kids, but I feel
okay.
I mean, my dad said that it seemed like a pretty good trade-off, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you still get a lot of scenes with like all the old characters, and
Yeah.
they're now parents. But he said he was pretty impressed by it.
Okay.
So to go on with that, like all these shows are being rebooted and everything, and obviously their original counterparts are the reason why they're being rebooted.
Mm-hmm.
But what we were discussing before was, is this really necessary? Like, we are replacing new original content with stuff that we have already seen before.
True.
And it's
definitely more than just shows too. 'Cause, I work in retail hell, and on the radio I always hear the remixes of the David Guetta remix of "I'm Blue."
Yeah.
Comes out all the time.
I love that version.
This one girl made a song, and it's just like a rip. I don't know. It's a rip off of Rocket Man.
Oh, I don't know.
Thanks.
I don't know, but there's so many songs now more than ever before. I'm just hearing a lot more covers and remakes, but they're all techno and they sound pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like the whole music industry has just kind of run out of ideas.
That's the same
And the
thing
TV
with
and
yeah.
movies.
It's just all of it just seemed extremely saturated.
Yeah, and I was gonna.
There-
Oh wait, sorry.
There's just a new title coming out every day. I'll check Twitter and there's just something new, and it's I
Yeah.
can't keep up with it. There's just so much.
Yeah, and real quick, I was gonna go into Teen Wolf because I love Teen Wolf, even though it's not a sitcom. Teen Wolf just came out with a movie with the whole cast. Well, not the whole cast. I was glad that they were making a movie, but then at the same time, there were some parts of the movie that didn't hit right, and I just felt like there were some parts missing, obviously, because two of the main characters didn't want to come back, and some storylines just didn't feel necessary, or some of the people in the movie didn't feel necessary. That's what kind of upsets me, because watching a show that I grew up watching, and then they make a movie out of it, you expect so much out of it, but then you tend to be. I thought it was okay. I was just disappointed at some things that that were not supposed to happen, that didn't feel right to it.
Right.
But that was just me. But we are unfortunately out of time. Obviously, I have so many more sitcoms on my list.
Yeah,
We could go
she's
on
got
forever about them.
500.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to make like a part 2 on this or something. This is a good idea.
Yeah, we should. But
Docu-series.
I want to thank you both for joining me.
Of course.
Sure.
Thanks for
Yeah,
having me again.
Thanks for giving me the opportunity.
Yeah, of course. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. And I promise next week I will be unmasked so you can see my lovely face. Hopefully. But thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you guys next time. Bye.
See ya.
Deuces.